Please proceed.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 20th online meeting of the ICT Back One member. The ICT Back One today, 15th of April 2026. Please be reminded that this meeting is being recorded for documentation purposes. Today, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our quorum present here within the meeting room, starting with our provisional end user, ASEC Maria Victoria C. Castro. Good afternoon, ASEC.
Good afternoon.
Second in the list is our provisional member, Attorney Andrela M. Aquino. Good afternoon, Attorney Andrela. Attorney Aquino, I mean.
Good afternoon.
And likewise, this meeting is being presided by our DICT back chairperson, Assistant Secretary June Vincent Manuel S. Gauden. And the back secretariat confirms the presence of our quorum for today's meeting. Good afternoon, back member. With your permission, Mr. Chair, we would like to present the 3 items on today's agenda for discussion.
Go ahead, Backsec. Please present the agenda for today's discussion.
Yes, presented on the screen, Mr. Chair, is the 3 items on today's agenda. The first item on the agenda is the Amazon Web Services, AWS, cloud hosting for the eGovernment digital platform. The approved budget for the contract is 362,969,397. And our end user for this project is ASEC Maria Victoria C. Castro. And included with the agenda, first agenda, is the other matters regarding the AWS cloud hosting for the eGovernment digital platform. And second item on the list is the data center collocation, with the approved budget for the contract is 81,043,000. Again, our provisional member end user for this project is ASEC Maria Victoria C. Castro. Lastly, on the list, on the agenda is the procurement for the engagement of highly technical consultant, independent consultant for the National Single Window Integrated Trade Facilitation Platform, NSW ITFP project for Mr. Dennis C. Fantastico, amounting to 1,203,324, and the end user for the project is Director Ferdinand M. Ramos. And with this, may we request the approval of the back members on the presented agenda, please? To reiterate, may we request the approval of the back members on the presented agenda, please?
I move for the approval of the presented agenda.
Is there any second? May we solicit a second for the motion of Attorney Dela ASEC Castro, please? Thank you.
To reiterate the request of our dear back chair, may we able to solicit the approval of the second motion from ASEC Castro. ASEC, good afternoon. Still,
Hi, good afternoon. Sorry, I'm in another meeting. Any required from us?
ASEC, may we request the approval of the back members on the presented agenda, please?
Okay,
Second.
yes.
Okay.
We agree with the agenda. Thank you.
It has been moved and seconded. The agenda is hereby adopted. Backsec, please proceed to the first agenda. Thank you.
For the first agenda, may we call on the end user for this project? May we call on Ms. Megan to present the documents.
Megan, please present the documents.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, my apologies. I would like to accept first with your permission, Mr. Chair, we would like to admit the representatives from the bidders and the participants to join this meeting as well.
Yes, you may admit. Please make sure that everyone is accommodated. Thank you.
Forward ko sa ito
Yes, and good afternoon. The Bids and Awards Committee would like to acknowledge and pursuant to the management directive in the interest of promoting transparency, this meeting will be broadcast live in compliance with Section 38 of RA 12009. The live stream will be made available on the official DICT YouTube channel. And we would like to acknowledge the bidders. We would like to acknowledge the prospective bidders which registered for today's pre-bid conference. First is a Value Line System and Solutions Corporation. Second is Redenta Technologies Incorporated. Third is Remax International Incorporated. Fourth is the EPLDT Incorporated. Fifth is the eCloud Valley Technology Philippines. F is NOAA Process and Materials Inc. G is Tovari Technologies Inc. H is Software One Philippines. And that would be all for the prospective bidders. Mr. Chair, with your permission, please, we will proceed now with the presentation of the press mat of this project prepared by the back secretariat.
Good afternoon, prospective bidders. Thank you on behalf of the ICT. Thank you for your participation this afternoon, and we hope to get comments from you, suggestions, and I hope that this afternoon's proceeding will be very successful. Backsec, go ahead. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Apologies for the inconvenience. So, presented on the screen, the DICT now invites bids for the project with a bid reference number DICT backdash 2026-025 with a project name procurement of subscription for the Amazon Web Services Cloud hosting for the eGovernment digital platforms with the approved budget for the contract of 362,969,397 pesos. For the points of discussion, project details, house rules, schedule of activities, instructions to bidders, checklist of technical and financial documents, two envelope system and proper sealing and markings, data sheet, technical specifications, forms, cost qualification documents, and reminders to bidders. For the project details, the invitation to bid for the project was posted on April 8, 2026 on the following: PhilJobs website, the ICT website, e-procurement website, the ICT bulletin. An invitation to observers for the private conference were sent also on April 8, 2026 to the following: Commission on Audit, Chief Information Officers Forum Foundation Incorporated, Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated, and Philippine Computer Society. And also the provisional member and user representative to the DICT background for this project is ASEC Maria Victoria C. Castro. For the prospective bidders which registered for today's private conference are follows: Value Line Systems and Solutions Corporated, Redenta Technologies Incorporated, Remax International Incorporated, EPLDT Incorporated, eCloud Valley Technology in Philippines, NOAA Process and Materials Incorporated, Novare Technologies Incorporated, and Software One Philippines. And for the house rules, everyone is encouraged to make clarifications, identify name and company before raising a question, limit questions to details of the procurement at hand. For the invitation to bid, the DICT Bank shall award the contract to the bidder with the lowest calculated and responsive bid. For the instructions to bidders bidding requirements, the bidding for the project shall be governed by all the provisions of RA 12009. Any amendments made to the IRR and other GPP issuances shall be applicable only to the ongoing posting advertisement or IB by the bank through the issuance of a supplemental or bid for the The bidder, by the act of submitting its bid, shall be deemed to have verified and accepted the general requirements of this project, including other factors that may affect the constitution and execution or implementation of the contract, project, or work, and examine all instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents. Corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, and coercive practices, the procuring entity as well as the bidders and suppliers shall observe the high standard of ethics during the procurement of execution of the contract. They or through an agent shall not engage in fraudulent, collusive, coercive, and obstructive practices defined under RA 12009 or other integrity violations in completing for the project. For the conflict of interest, all bidders found to have conflict of interest shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. All bidding documents shall be accompanied by an omnibus sworn statement of the bidder that it is not related by consanguinity or affinity up to the third level to the whole procurement agent, if engaged, the head of the project management office, the end user of implementing unit, or any members of the bids and awards committee, technical working group, and back secretariat. The bidder shall also disclose the ultimate beneficial ownership of an entity. Failure to comply shall be a ground for the automatic disqualification of the bid in consonance with Section 59 of the IRR. Also, eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership limited to those allowed under the rules may participate in this project. GOCCs may be eligible to participate only if they can establish that they are legally and financially autonomous, operate under commercial law, and are not attached agencies of the procuring entity. The bidder must have completed within a period of 5 years from the submission of the bid, unless a shorter period is indicated in the invitation to bid and BDX. A single largest completed contract that is similar to the procurement project to be bid, and whose volume must be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC, adjusted to current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority Consumer Price Indexes. The bidder must submit a computation of its net financial contracting capacity, which must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid. Subcontracting is not allowed. For clarification and amendment of bidding documents, request for clarification, should be formalized, addressed in email to the Bank Secretariat, back@dict.gov.ph and back.secretariat@dict.gov.ph. Deadline for the request for clarification is on April 17, 2026, 4 p.m. Copies of the supplemental complete bulletins, if any, shall be posted at the PhilChip's website, the DICT website, and bulletin board at the ICT lobby. For the language of bids, the eligible bidders or statements, the bids and all other documents to be submitted to the bank must be in English. If the eligible requirements or statements, the bids and all other documents submitted to the bank are in foreign language other than English, it must be accompanied by translation of the documents in English. For contracting parties to the Apostille Convention, the documents shall be authenticated through an apostille with a competent authority as defined in Section 20.2 of the ARR, except for countries identified by the TFA that will still require legalization already formed by the relevant embassy or consulate. For the checklist of technical and financial documents, technical components of PhilChip certificate of registration, platinum membership, statements of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid except under conditions provided for in section 52.4.1.3 IRR of RA 12009 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. Any of the following documents must be submitted together with the statement of single largest completed contract, A and user's acceptance, the official receipt, C sales invoice for the contract, and also NFCC computation or committed line of credit, statement of all its ongoing government private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether senior or not senior in nature and complexity of the contract to be bid. And if applicable, JVA or in the absence of a JVA, duly notarized statements from all potential JV partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the event that the bid is successful. Original copy of bid security if in the form of surety bond. Submit also certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Note, bidders who opt to submit a bid securing declaration as a form of bid security are required to use the bid securing declaration form and the attached bidding documents. And also, under technical component input, the schedule of requirements, technical specifications, which may include production or delivery schedule, manpower, requirements or after-sales service or parts if applicable. In line with Section 7 hereof, the service provider must submit as part of their bid submission the list of key manpower personnel. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement and, if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. And for foreign bidders claiming eligibility by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, a certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in their government procurement activities for the same item or product. Under financial documents envelope, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, original of duly signed and accomplished price schedules, and certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. And also, another instructions to bidders, bid and payment currency. Payment of the contract price shall be made in Philippine peso. Bid price is the proper form for goods offered from within the Philippines or goods offered from abroad indicated. Price schedule. For bid validity, bid shall remain valid for the period specified in the DDS, which shall not exceed 100 calendar days from the date of the opening of the bids. Bid security, all bids must be accompanied by bid security in any acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the BDS. For the format and signing of bids, bidders shall submit their bids through their duly authorized representative using the appropriate forms provided in Section 8, Philippine bidding document, related forms on or before the deadline specified in IPB Clause 19 in two separate sealed bid envelopes. Forms as mentioned in IPB Clause 17.1 must be completed without any alterations To their format, no substitute form shall be accepted. Each and every page of the bid form, including the price schedule under Section 8, shall be signed by the duly authorized representatives of the bidder. Failure to do so shall be a ground for the rejection of the bid. Any insertions, erasures, or overriding shall be valid only if they are signed or initialed by the duly authorized representatives of the bidder. For the sealing and marking of bids, indicated bid and inside the bid, they have two separate components, the technical component and financial component. And inside the technical component, it must included the technical component, original copy, the duplicate copy, and triplicate copy. And for the financial component, it must be included the original copy, duplicate copy, and triplicate copy. And also, it should be labeled with to Department of Information and Communications Technology, and from name of bidder in capital letters, and address of bidder in capital letters, with the project name, procurement of subscription for the Amazon Web Services Cloud, hosting for the eGovernment digital platforms, with the bid reference number indicated, the ICE BAC-2026-025. And also indicate in capital letters, indicate the phrase, do not open before April 27, 2026, 1:30 p.m. For the copies, each bidder shall submit one original and two copies of required documents. For the deadline for submission of bids, the deadline for the submission of bids is on April 27, 2026, 12 noon, and the opening of bids will be on April 27, 2026, 1:30 p.m. For the bid evaluation, reminding bidders to kindly break down all the costs of taxes pursuant to Section 61.2 IR of RA 12009. To which all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as but not limited to value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be the basis for bid evaluation and comparison. Also, for members of the BAC, its staff and personnel, Secretary and PWG, as well as observers, are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC through its secretary may ask the bidder in writing for clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. For the opening and preliminary examinations of bids, the manner of opening of the bids for goods shall depend on the award criteria to be adopted. For LCRP and MERP, the BAC shall open the technical and financial proposals on the same day. For the bid data sheet, contract similar to the project shall be a similar project is defined as a contract involving the subscription, implementation, and management of cloud services, and should have been completed within the last 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission of receipt of bids. And the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts amounting to 18,148,469 pesos and 85 centavos. The form of bid securing bank draft, guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit and surety. For post-qualification documents, the bidder within 5 calendar days from the receipt of notice from the BAC that is submitted to LCB shall submit all the eligibility documents supporting its field job certificate of registration, its latest income and business tax returns filed for preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission, and receipt of bid, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the PDX. For the forms, schedule of requirements, technical specifications, bid form, price schedule for goods offered from abroad, price schedule for goods offered from within the Philippines, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, performance securing declaration. And also presented on screen the prescribed form. This is the bid form, procure for goods, price schedule for goods within the Philippines, price schedule for goods from abroad, and also bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and schedule of requirements, And again, reminders to bidders, the clock at the DICT lobby using the Philippine Standard Time is the official reference time during submission and receipt of bids. A member of the bank secretary will be assigned to receive the bid documents at the DICT lobby and shall stamp these as received. Bidders are reminded that entry inside the DICT premises is subject to the safety in place, and processing of payment for the bidding documents prior to the submission of the actual bid offer may take time. Presence in the DICT premises does not constitute submission online. We shall refer to the actual handover of the bid proposal to the authorized personnel of the bank secretary. And again, request for clarification should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the bank secretariat, bank@dict.gov.ph, and bank.secretary@dict.gov.ph. And for the deadline for the request for clarification is on April 17, 2026 at 4 p.m. Copies of supplemental bid bulletins, if any, shall be posted at the field chef's website, the ICT website, and bulletin board at the ICT lobby. And common causes of ineligibility and disqualification, invalid field chef certification, and underlying reported documents pursuant to Section 20.2.9.1 IR of RA 1200 all Class A eligibility documents indicated in Annex A of the field chef's registration certificate must be current, valid, and updated at the time of bid submission. The failure by the prospective bidder to update the certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents shall result in automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all of the expired Class A eligible documents has been updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their field chef's registration certificates prior to the submission of their bids. And also, failure to attach the required supporting documents for the statement of single largest completed contract similar to the project to be bid, and failure to include all the mandatory provisions. Submission of unsigned documents, submission of audited financial statement without stamp receipt of the BRF and AFS was filed and paid through electronic filing and payment system. There's no need for the stamp to send of the BRF. Instead, bidders must submit their proof of AFS pre-submission, such as BR's email confirmation, receipt of returns documents with its filing, reference number, transaction. Also, a failure to submit the bid securing declaration in the prescribed format, attached bidding documents. Failure to submit bid securing declaration and omnibus sworn statement without a jurat as required in the form provided in the bidding documents, pursuant to the latest rules on pilot matters. Failure to indicate compliance in the technical specifications and to attach proof of compliance if applicable. And another one, for submission of bids through courier service providers are reminded that the courier service personnel must submit the bid proposal to a person of the bank secretary division at the office address provided below. Bid submission proposal left by the courier service personnel at the lobby table and other personnel or staff aside from the authorized bank secretary personnel will not be considered submitted for purposes of bid opening. The responsibility to ensure that the courier service personnel submits the bid proposal to the authorized bank secretary personnel. So this is the responsibility of the prospective bidder. And we'll present po the e-procurement video guide for bidders who choose to purchase their bidding documents through online.
Accessing the e-procurement website. Open any web browser and go the https://eprocurement.dict.gov.ph. Click the Sign Up button. Provide a valid email address. Create a password with at least 8 alphanumeric characters, 1 uppercase, a number, and a symbol. Repeat your password for confirmation. Tick the checkbox to agree to the terms and conditions. And click Create Account button. Open the email account that you provided during registration. Check your inbox and verify your account by following the instructions in the email. Click Activate Your Account button. Go back to the e-procurement system and enter your registered email address and password. Click Login button, and you will be redirected to the onboarding page. Input your personal information and click Next button. Input your company information and click Next button. Review the information you provided and click Confirm button. Once onboarded, you will be redirected to the homepage/dashboard. Select the procurement project you wish to participate in by clicking the View Complete Details button. Select the lot you wish to participate and click Participate in Bidding button. A confirmation modal will appear. Review the details, click the Confirm button, and you will be redirected to the payment window. Select your preferred payment method from the list and click Pay Now button. Print and save the receipt as proof of payment and for reference. You may also check your email to view your receipt. Click the Go Back to Merchant button. You will be redirected to the My Transactions page, where a list of your transactions will be displayed.
Mr. Chair, that's all po for the presentation of the back secretariat. We will now proceed for the presentation of technical specifications.
Thank you, Back Secretariat, for that elaborate explanation. And I do hope that the prospective bidders present here have taken down notes. And if you have any clarifications to make, the Back Secretariat is available for to answer your question this afternoon, or you can write them in their email. Let's proceed now to the presentation of the technical specifications to be presented by the end user.
On that note, Mr. Chair, good afternoon. May we respectfully seek your guidance whether or not to proceed with the detailed reading of the technical specification, considering that this is posted on PhilJobs and the ICT website, or dispense with it.
What is the pleasure of the body to the members?
Mr. Chair, may I suggest that we can dispense the reading of the technical specifications, and maybe we could just seek if there are any questions from the respective bidders. Thank you.
Okay. There's a request coming from the. Are there any comments, suggestions from the other members? Since there's no brutal reaction, I'm just going to explain also that this has already been posted, and the documents are out there for review. So we will just maximize the time for the question and answer, so that you will be more your questions will be catered, and then I think the end user is quite ready for them to answer the questions from the respective bidders, potential bidders. So we can dispense of that. And Backsec, how do we go about this? Thank you.
On that note, Mr. Chair, please be informed that the floor is now open for bidders in case they have questions or clarification with regard to the project. And for our participants, please be informed, just in case if you have questions and you'd like to raise, we will request to kindly use the raise hand button, and we will call you one by one. And once we call you, kindly introduce yourself and mention the company that you are representing. Thank you again. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Backsec. To the potential bidders, I would like to remind everyone that this is the avenue for you to ask your questions and clarify any other concerns that you have with regards to the project. So please use the time to make sure that your questions are raised and the end user will be able to answer them. There are times that the end user will be telling you that it will be reflected in a supplemental bid bulletin. So I'd like also to remind everyone to watch out for it. And if there are any questions, let's open it now. Thank you.
Mr. To all prospective bidders, please, if you have questions, queries, clarifications, please say it now. May we call on representatives from Value Line System Solutions Corporation? Any questions, sirs? Mr. Chair and back members, seeing no questions or queries from the participants or the bidders, we will just set the reiteration for the so that. Oh, I'm seeing hands raised by Mr. Telma B.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon. This is Thelma Basovas from EPLDT. I just would like to ask regarding the SLCC, if it can be relaxed to just pertain to a cloud project, not specifically for AWS.
End user, can you please answer this?
Hi, Ma'am Telma. The SLCC demonstrate that a bidder has a successfully delivered project similar in size and complexity. This will ensure the contractor is not untested, and it confirms the technical and operational capability of that certain bidder. Ma'am, if you're going to use SLCC other than the AWS project, as long as it is a cloud service solution, then we can cater it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's all for us. Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
For the record, backsec, that was Director Terry Bumulo. Just for the record, kasi hindi niya sinabi yung pangalan niya.
Thank you,
Anyway,
Director. Yeah.
if there are any other questions?
Mr. Chair, again seeing none, we would like to reiterate the request for clarification that should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the back secretariat at back@dict.gov.ph and back.secretariat at dict.gov.ph, and that the deadline for the request for clarification is on April 26 at 4 p.m. Copies of the supplemental bid bulletin, if any, shall be posted at the PhilJEP's website, the DICT website, and the bulletin board at the DICT lobby. The questions and clarifications will be coordinated with the end user to formulate the final answers to the supplemental bid that will be issued. That would be all for the backsec. Chair.
Another round, no? I'm just gonna reiterate this because this is very important, and for the sake of transparency and as also part of the RA 12009, this is the avenue really for the prospective bidders to ask questions. So I'm raising again about a 1 minute. Please let us know if you have questions after 1 minute. If nobody will raise and ask for questions, the BACSEC has already explained earlier that you can formalize them and you can email them in a given in a prescribed time. So or else forever hold your peace. No. Are there any other questions? Again, the questions concerns coming from the prospective bidders. Yes, Colleen. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Colleen from Rodenta Technologies. Would like to clarify lang po, since we're still on the process of reviewing the technical specifications, can we still raise our questions via written or email?
BACSEC, please answer.
Yes, ma'am. It was stated that the deadline for the request and for clarification is scheduled on April 17, 2026 at 4 p.m. po. So, ma'am, before po mag-April 17, i-forward na po sa BACSEC yung mga inquiries or clarifications po natin.
All right, thank you so much po.
Thank you, Ms. Colleen.
Go ahead, Sir John Patrick Flores.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Patrick Flores from Navarre. We'd like to clarify if there is any migration scope of the existing workloads. Given this, if an inventory or a list of workloads can be identified.
End user.
Hello po. Director Telly Bumolo from the NGDC team. I represent ASEC Maribig as an end user. Regarding your question for the migration, there's a clause in 1.1.5 that in cases where the client stakeholders request for migration of resources, the migration of workload, applications, and databases from the on-premise or other cloud services providers to Amazon Web Services cloud platform should have a minimal downtime. This is to ensure that the continuity of business operations of the DACT and its client agencies are secured. So to answer your question, yes, there will be a migration service required if another service provider or cloud service provider should you provide other than AWS. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Just a follow-up on that is that if an inventory or list of workloads can be provided.
I think, sir, we will provide the workload at the or list of the inventories after the bidding process. Or BACSEC, could you help me on this one? Could we provide this information before the bidding? Because right now the inventory is classified as a highly classified documentation and cannot be shared openly for the public. Or if we could just share this after the NTP and the winning bidder.
Director Terry, I just suggest that you specify that in the supplemental bid bulletin so that there's no um, miscommunication, and to further clarify it. Um, I think somebody from eCloud Valley is raising your hand. Sir, please identify yourself.
Good afternoon, the ACT team. Your Honor, this is Prince Oliver Evangelista from eCloud Valley. Would like to clarify on the part of the cloud storage with the initially provided list of workloads. So for this one, the cloud storage, it says here 70,000 GB total. So that is the total, right? It's not, because there is a column here for quantity. So if I follow the pattern from the virtual machines and the RDS, this is a unit quantity which is multiplied by the specific specification. So in this case, this is not 70 times 70,000, right? And the only total would be 70,000 GB, right?
Yes,
Is my understanding correct?
yes, sir. Prince Oliver, that is correct. That would be the total of the storage requirements would be 70 GB. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Are there any further clarifications, questions, or concerns? Going once, going twice. Okay, I think Baksek, there are no other questions or comments coming from our prospective bidders. And again, you're reminded that you can actually submit any questions or clarifications at the given time frame that was mentioned earlier by the Baksek. Baksek?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Seeing none inquiries, it was reminded earlier that we have reiterated to the reminders to bidders that up until April 17, 2026 at 4 p.m. Before we proceed with the second agenda, Mr. Chair, we would like to excuse the end user, the representatives, the TWG members, and the other participants from the first agenda. With your permission, Mr. Chair.
Before that, I'd like to thank them, to the prospective bidders. Maraming salamat for being with us this afternoon and for exercising the right to voice out your concerns. And I hope that you will continue to support the ICT and our projects moving forward. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Salamat. Maraming salamat. They can be now excused, Paksek. Thank you.